skipped the gym again this morning. I usually go like Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. I wake up at 4:30 a.m. and I go to the gym, but I didn't go yesterday morning and I didn't go this morning. But yesterday I did go to the gym around, I think it was around this time when I just drop off my kids. It's 9:20 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm gonna head to the gym. The gym's probably like 10-15 minutes away. And go to the YMCA. I'm gonna go work out, do upper body. I did the same thing yesterday. I did lower body, but I got a text from this girl who has a cleaning business and was asking me to come help her at some Airbnbs. And she, oh my God, it was a lot. It was a lot, not the cleaning part. It was for one, I had never been to this building. It was downtown, which was fine. It was right off the exit. There was free parking. It was totally fine. I didn't have to park on the street and pay for parking and everything like that. That part was fine. But I go to the building. I don't know how to get in. I don't have the code. Then she uses an app, and the app was so overwhelming. I had never used it. It was like last minute. She needed help. So I go and what I'm looking at is only showing me a couple rooms. And I go to the first room and I start the laundry, and I try to go to the second one that's on the list. There's someone in there. Anyways, I didn't even find out what the other two rooms were till later. There was another room I was going to start the laundry at. There was someone in there also. They're messaging you the whole time. They want you to take video, pictures. I mean, it was just like, I could barely clean because I was like sending messages back and forth with them the whole time. It was super like, they were micromanaging. The girl that asked for my help was disregard some of the stuff they were saying. There was 2 floors I was working basically, because the one that I went to on the second floor, there was people in there. They have all these carts with supplies, which is great, but I don't know where anything is. I'm going up and down the stairs. They have codes on some of the on most of the cabinets. Some of the cabinets are locked. I mean, just chaos. I end up having to ask my mother-in-law to pick up my kids because I wasn't done by 4. It was just a lot. So anyways, and I lost a lot of money trading yesterday on my funded. I lost one of my funded accounts. And I lost $360 on the other one. So I told myself, I really have to, instead of focusing on the money aspect of trading, I have to focus on strategy and rules. So today's a reset. I haven't taken a trade yet. I took one last night actually, and it reaffirmed that I really have to take a step back and not focus on the money and just focus on the rules and the execution and sticking to the rules. So I'm waiting until 9:30 to see what the market's doing. The market is looking really choppy to me right now, so I'm going to try to really be patient and wait for a setup, and I want to not take something just because. So I'm really working on only taking something if it checks my boxes. So that's my goal, is the next 30 days just to focus on strategy, execution, or rules, discipline, and just see what happens, because I honestly know that's the missing piece, and I keep saying that, but it's you have to be in enough pain, enough discomfort to change something. Also, working on rebuilding my fitness business, because I think I told you guys, I kind of checked out from getting new clients this past year, honestly. I've gotten clients that were either referrals or people that have worked with me in the past and just came back because they wanted, some more accountability and things like that. And I've held on to a lot of clients. So I'm focused on rebuilding that. I just made a post. I opened up a few spots. I don't love the thought of someone hiring me for just in person, because the reason I went online, one of the biggest motivators for going online besides just my life, was people don't realize when you meet, people think they need someone to meet them at the gym for them to reach their goals. And yes, that may help, but what's going to happen once you reach your goal? How are you going to maintain that lifestyle without having to rely on a person to meet you? Also, when you meet someone, say you meet them 3 times a week, what happens outside? That's 3 hours a week if you're doing hour-long sessions. What about the other 24 hours outside of that? That's why I went online, because weight loss does not come just because you start working out 3 times a week. It comes from changing habits, how you handle stress, how you, what's your nutrition like? And I don't mean just eating healthy. I mean, like, are you getting enough fiber? Are you getting enough protein? What's your calorie balance? People just want to start eating healthy, and you could eat healthy and still not lose weight. If your goal is to lose weight. So, and then on top of that, sleep. How are we going to make this a lifestyle change so that way, like I mentioned earlier, you can maintain this long term and you can keep going once you're not paying me anymore. That is like my ultimate goal when someone invests in my coaching, is how can I give you all the tools so that way, like, because everyone overeats from time to time. How are you going to handle that? What's the mental dialogue when that happens? What happens when you have multiple events back to back to back and you're trying to lose weight or maintain your weight loss even? What happens when you travel? What happens when the kids get sick or someone ends up in the hospital and you're having to stay at the hospital for 5 days in a row? Or I don't know. Life happens. So my goal is not to just meet you and show you how to exercise. It's how do we change the way we look at health and fitness, and how do we, instead of it being an all-consuming thing, how do we make this a part of your life? And so that's why, even though I posted about personal training, I really want to try to take the time to slow down with these people who have reached out and really talk through, like, what is your goal? Is it just to learn how to lift? If that's the goal, that's fine. If you want to hire a personal trainer so you know how to safely lift in the gym, cool. Like, that's a great reason to hire a personal trainer. Most of the people that come across my path, though, they want to lose weight, they want to build muscle, they have a highly stressful life and they're really busy and they don't know how to stick to something and stay consistent and keep those goals. So many people, they'll lose some weight, gain it all back, lose the weight, gain it all back. So that's my spiel. And if you need help and you need support, comment below and I'll reach out. I need to put a link to my application in here, and I probably will soon. But my Instagram is it's ITS Carrie, Karri baby. It's Carrie baby. I know it's corny. I'm a millennial. So and then my name on Facebook is Carrie Goodall Boone. So Karri and then Goodall Boone. So if you want to reach out either way, hit me up. It is such a rainy, gloomy day, but I'm gonna make the best of it. I don't have any cleans today. I do have 2 calls with potential new clients, so I'm so excited about that because I have not had any new people join Strong and Fit, Fit Mom Blueprint in a while. I've been just working with my current clients who have all been with me a while, honestly. So I'm excited about that. I also hit a new low on the scale this morning, at least since I've been trying to lose weight again. I hit 179 and a half. And my goal is actually, because I worked with a coach for a little bit, and I've just been stuck in the 180s forever. And actually, when I started working with her, I was all the way up to like 190, 192. And then I've been kind of fluctuating around 182, 180. And for some reason, this getting out of the 180s has been so difficult after having my second daughter, which was 5 years ago. I just have not been able to be able to drop past 180. So my goal is to get down to like 175, 174 ish. So not a lot of weight, and then kind of reevaluate things. I love food. I love to eat. Most people can relate to that, right? And it feels like it's learning for me, someone who used to like really struggle with like binge eating or just overeating in general. It is I have to constantly like reframe and try to look at dieting a little differently. Like, this is an opportunity to show more muscle that I've worked so hard for. It's an opportunity to appreciate the privilege of being able to eat and being able to choose not to overeat, you know? So instead of saying like, I can't have something, I need to lose weight, it's more just like, I want to be the best version of myself. I have the opportunity to not eat. We're privileged enough to choose that. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it really, when you're in that mindset of restriction and saying things like, I'm fat, I need to lose weight, I can't eat this, I'm so bad when I eat this, and you connect your morality, your morals, who you are as a person to what you eat, it becomes like this constant negativity, and you find yourself like doing the opposite of what you're trying to tell yourself. And when you look at the research, positive reinforcement works better. And I know some people still are in that mindset, like you have to be hard, you have to be disciplined, you have to make, even when it comes to raising kids, they're like, you got to beat them into submission. That doesn't really work. And it shows in the studies. It doesn't work for majority of people, and there may be a small percentage that does well with being drilled that way and like talked to degradingly, but most of us, it doesn't work. There was even a study where they had two groups of people who had, I don't know all the specifics of the study, I don't remember, it's a long time since I've reviewed that, but basically the gist of it was there's two groups of people. Both were watching like some kind of video. One was a very positive video, a very uplifting video. The other one was, they were talking negatively about weight and about being overweight, and it was like negative, I don't know exactly, like it was just like very negatively the way they were talking about like weight gain and being overweight and stuff. The group that watched that particular film or video, they overate by a significant amount, not just a little bit, but a lot. And if you ever have been told like, and it wasn't your choice, and you've been told like you need to lose weight, have you ever, like most women I know have like found themselves overeating? I don't know if I'm making any sense, but it makes a lot of sense to me, and this is kind of how I coach women. I really help them reframe, and discipline does not equal punishment. Discipline means to teach, and our brains cannot learn when we are in survival mode and we feel like threatened. So just for me, just constantly like reframing and looking at it in a different light. And if I do overeat, not making a big deal about it, just moving on, making sure like I bring consciousness into that moment, and I can stop faster. It doesn't turn into like a binge. So yeah, if you want to talk about any of those things, let me know. I'm looking at the market. I am really close to blowing my other funded account. So I'm just not putting a lot of pressure on trading right now. I think I really need to back test and reevaluate things. I think because I've been in survival mode lately with like trying to get out of the financial situation I am in, I've just been seeing trades that aren't there. So I'm really going to try to take it slow today and look at the market. It looks like we are definitely in an uptrend. We broke the daily resistance. So I don't know if you can see that. So I had this marked as the daily resistance around here. So resistance means that it wasn't able to go higher. It broke out of that this morning. I actually jumped in for a second and I got out at $15 or so, just because I told myself I was going to wait and I didn't. So yeah, we're kind of going up. I have this supply zone or this demand zone marked, and I'm just going to try to be very, very patient today and only take an A+ setup. There is a chance I could blow my account today. I'm going to try my hardest to manage risk. But it is what it is. If I have to reset completely, I think I need to just reevaluate how I'm approaching things. Hey. So today was a horrible trading day. I did have one call with a potential client. The other one had to reschedule and my head hurts. But it's all good. We're going skating tonight. I'm going to try to have fun and just focus on being present. I ran to the grocery and I'm making my kids these little, I don't know if it's showing. So I have some meatballs, pizza sauce, and shredded cheese and croissants. And these are going to be like their main entree. And then I'm going to put some fruit and vegetables and probably some other little snacks in their lunchbox. But they really like these, and they have a decent amount of protein. They have carbs. Kids need carbs. They need energy. And they also have some fat in them. So it's pretty balanced for the most part for what the kids need. So yeah, that's what I'm making. And they love, Kenna, my youngest, she loves meatballs. So it's a way to incorporate some meatballs for her. And these actually, they like them cold. I've made my daughter some kind of pasta before, just like spaghetti actually. And that's okay, but I don't know, she likes these when they're, because they don't get to warm stuff up at school. Today I had them go through the lunch line. Our school currently has free lunch. Still, our school's actually, I love our school that my kids go to. It's pretty small, but they're a little more of a poor school. So yeah, they have free lunches still. I think a lot of schools in Jefferson County still do, where I live, but this school in particular, I know they qualify for free lunches, which everyone's struggling nowadays, right? So it does help. And anyone that complains about kids getting free lunch is an asshole and has major issues. I'm sorry, but kids everyone deserves to eat. Everyone deserves food. I don't care if even the homeless people, there's so much food that we waste every day. Why is it such, I've heard that, some restaurants and grocery stores, I don't know if it's all of them, they get tax write-offs for just throwing stuff away. It's but there's hungry people out there. I don't know. I don't understand it. I think sometimes we've lost the plot. We've lost our humanity. At the end of the day, if I have food and someone, you know, someone is hungry, I would definitely give them food. I don't know. It's weird to think about people complaining about kids getting free lunch at school. Anyways, I started to find myself like wanting to overeat because my head was hurting. So I actually just ate like a little protein bar, and I'm gonna try to tough it out. We're having wings tonight, so that's a little bit higher calorie meal, just because wings are pretty fatty, so the calories in them are a little bit higher. There's nothing wrong with it. I just want to make sure I'm balancing out the rest of the day. So I'm trying not to eat a whole lot, trying to kind of work through the hunger a little bit. But yeah, I got to pick up my kids in like about an hour, and I really need to get some steps, but I know that tonight when I'm skating, I'll get a lot of steps. Yeah, and I really am trying after the kids get out of school to like be more present, just because I've been so stressed about money. Look, it looks a little messy, but they're gonna be good. I've been so stressed about money, it's been hard to be present. So the past couple of days, I've tried to like just put my phone away, play with them. They like to play in the basement and play cops and robbers, and it's basically just hide and seek, but we kind of wrestle, and I'm the cop. So we did that yesterday. We went swimming the day before. We watched some Twilight yesterday. We're watching all the Twilight series. So far, it hasn't been too bad as far as their age. Maybe a little bit. My little one was like a little scared about one of the parts, but I don't know. We decided to watch it, and we've been watching it. My oldest has watched like all the Lord of the Rings, which I've never seen, and Harry Potter with her dad. So yeah, I decided to watch Twilight. I knew she would like it. So we're gonna be starting movie 4 soon. I don't know why I brought that up, but anyways, I'm gonna finish cleaning up a little bit, pack their lunches, and yeah. I did, back to trading. I did blow my other funded account, so I blew 2 funded accounts this week. Started a new eval, 3 new evals, blew 1. So we're back. We're down to 2, and they are really, really close to being blown too. So I don't know. I'm trying to reevaluate things. What happened though is I was chasing trades. It was pretty choppy today, and I should have walked away. You win and lose. I'm not giving up on trading. I just know that something between last month when I got 2 payouts and now needs to be assessed, and I'm going to start with journaling and just taking a look at some of the way I'm approaching the markets. I think I've been too impulsive, honestly. So I'm going to reevaluate those things. I'm not giving up. I just have to take a step back. Yeah. So.
Skate trainers, keep your feet up and on the carpeted areas. Hoods and headphones are not allowed to be worn on the belly.
Okay, my YouTube videos are super random, but we're getting it done. I actually made it to the gym today. Today is Thursday, the 13th, I believe. And I actually got up at 4:30 and made it to the gym. Even though it was raining, it was pouring, the old man was snoring, and I went to the gym. And it was actually a really good session. I did, I'm tired, Romanian deadlifts, seated hamstring curls, leg extensions, Bulgarian split squats, abductions, the abduction machine. I think that's about it. But everything progressed very nicely. My deadlifts felt super heavy today. I did 10 reps at 205 pounds. And then I went up to, I think, 210. And I can't remember if I got 7 or 8. I don't think I went up to 215 today. Everything felt so heavy. I did 210. I think I got 7, maybe 8, and then I got 6 for the last set. Felt super heavy. And I almost feel like I need to, for a while I was going heavier actually. And I feel like I almost need to back off again and really focus. I'm feeling it more in my hamstrings and my glutes than what I was when I was doing it really heavy. But I feel like I need to back off the weight again and work my way back up. Because what happens sometimes when you get excited about going heavier is just little things in form will slip away. So I'll, for example, with deadlifts, you want with RDLs, Romanian deadlifts, whatever you want to call it, you want to try to be able to hinge those hips back slowly, keep the bar tight to your legs, and mainly the movement is that hinge. You're not really, when I try to teach this movement, I tell my clients, you don't want to think bend over, because that's what most people do when they try to deadlift, is they bend forward. But it's actually, you're just pushing your hips back. So you're, instead of bending forward, you're thinking hinging. So sometimes when you are lifting really heavy, what will happen is your shoulders will start to fall forward, and you'll lose that tension rather than being able to keep your lats engaged, keep that bar tight to your legs, and slowly hinge. So I need to record them again. It's always hard for me to record at the gym because I don't have anywhere. I don't know if I'll ever be someone who brings a tripod. I don't know, maybe. Never say never. But it's not something that I ever think to do, or I don't even want to film in front of people. It just still feels odd, even though it's 2026. But anyways, the angle, it's hard to tell. I need the camera up a little higher to see that. But overall, it was a good gym sesh. I did 20 minutes of stair stepper, and it felt pretty challenging the first 10 minutes. It's crazy. It's after the first 10, 15 minutes, then it's oh, this is easy. I'm glad I pushed through that mental block. So anyways, I have 2 calls today with potential clients. We'll see what happens with that. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on it. I have never talked to the one girl yesterday for the first time, And she has a lot of life stuff going on. And usually I'm like, it doesn't matter what your life stuff is, but some mental health stuff that is kind of concerning, just as far as being able to really, like, to me, health and fitness, it really is like mind, body, spirit, whatever you want to say with that. I don't mean like religion or anything like that. If you have that, awesome. But what I mean is like being able to be like mentally, taking care of that mental stuff. So if you do have mental health issues, depression, anxiety, all those things, you're actively working on those. You maybe have a therapist or have things that you have in place, or you're at least willing to work on those things. And then you have like the physical aspect, which is to me a small portion of it. Like the exercise, the nutrition, like those are things I help with. I'll help with like the way like reframing and helping you with your mental state. But if you need a professional and you're not getting professional help, then there's only so much I can do. This girl, she is seeking professional help, but she's in the midst of things, and she also struggles with maybe she has alcoholism, which I do too. And for me, I had to sort out the drinking stuff before I could really focus on my health. Yes, you can do both, but I don't know how to make sense of what I'm saying, and maybe that's too much personal information. Maybe I need to cut that part out, but not too much. I don't care. I'm an open book. And I'm not saying this girl's name, so maybe it's fine, but she just, confided in me that she has struggled with that in the past. So to me, I'm like, okay, maybe we'll talk, but also like, I'm not someone who just wants your money. I want to be able to help you. And if you're not in that state of mind to be able to be helped, then I don't want to just sign you up for my program, if that makes sense. So it's not a bad thing. I mean, I've been there myself. I remember when I first stopped drinking in 2013 and stopped doing other forms of alcohol. The person that was like helping me, who was helping me like with recovery, she just said like, let's just focus on sobriety for right now. You're not Superwoman, and later you can worry about like the eating healthier and like stopping cigarettes and all those things, which I eventually did. I couldn't do all those things at once, and like I also in that place was trying to take things to extreme. So yeah, I don't know if any of that makes sense, but to me, I never think it's a bad time to focus on your health and fitness ever. But if you're someone who is, still struggling to not drink and you shouldn't be drinking, then it may be hard to mentally approach health and fitness in a balanced way, because you're putting too much pressure on yourself for all those things. So anyways, that's where I'm at, and I'm not putting a lot of stress on trading because I really have to take a step back, take a look at, I talked about this I think yesterday, but I just want to really reevaluate how I'm approaching trading, because the past week has really opened my eyes to some bad habits when it comes to that. And for me, I think trading is going to be something that positively impacts me and my family. It's just slowing down and not rushing the process. So yeah. As far as yeah. So we're going to, oh, my brakes. I'm going to have to get new rotors. As far as my clients, I had one client, she just graduated from the program, so I'm excited for her. I need to check in on her and just see how she's doing. Our goal was to like slowly transition from using my app, so I got her like this Excel sheet that I used to use. This week she was supposed to be just like tracking on there, so I need to check and see how that's all going. But I'm excited for her because when she came to me, she was just like, she only had a history of running. She had 2 babies pretty close together. They were both under 3 when we started working together. She was breastfeeding. Her baby was only, I think, 4 months old. And she was just struggling because she's a rare case in the sense that I typically work with. Usually I work with women who have a long history of dieting and trying different diets and losing and gaining weight over and over again. But she actually just gained weight while she was pregnant. Her body composition looked very different, and she had never tried a diet before. So in her head, she was going to have to cut out all the foods that she had been enjoying, and that's how she was going to lose weight. She didn't really know how to fit exercise into her life because she used to always run. So anyways, postpartum, your body composition, and after, if you go through perimenopause, menopause, what happens, it's not always that it's not for everyone that you gain a bunch of weight. It's your body composition is different, meaning you have less muscle and more fat on your body. So the solution in my head is to, number 1, get you building some muscle, and then number 2 is to lose a little bit of body fat without losing the muscle that we gain. Or sometimes you're able to do both at the same time if you're just starting lifting. But a lot of times we will have to lose a little bit of body fat, also. So what we did is, in the beginning, we focused on taking a look at her nutrition. So as a whole, what I did is I worked with her to start eating more protein. We started making sure that she was getting enough fruits and veggies. We started lifting only 3 days a week, and she actually chose to go to the gym. She had to do a few at-home workouts because, like, when kids were sick or it snowed. But mostly, I met her at the gym a few times. And the cool thing with online coaching is, a lot of people think they need a trainer to go to the gym with them, but really, like, we met only a couple times. But you can even do Zoom calls or send video feedback. But the cool thing about having an online coach is you become more independent. You don't have to rely on someone being there all the time. And what happened is, like, slowly over time, she started to get more confident. She started to build strength. And she actually lost 23 pounds with me. And before we stopped working together, we worked on a maintenance phase so that way she could maintain. Because if you've ever dieted, a lot of times what happens is after you diet, you gain all the weight back. And so we worked through all that. And now she's, like, going out on her own. She's wearing tank tops again. She's feeling more confident. She said that, like, lifting has positively impacted the way she shows up in her business, and she just feels, even though she's still like a more shy, reserved person, she just feels more confident in her interactions outside of the gym. So that was really cool. Also, she's positively impacted her family. Like, her husband started working out more. Her kids are wanting to go on walks. So it's been a really cool experience, and it does remind me of why I started coaching. I feel like this past year I've kind of like fallen off. A lot of it has been like me looking at things a little more negative, and just losing the belief in myself. Everyone experiences some kind of imposter syndrome or doubt in their field, and I just went through some of that this year. So just working through all that. Okay, I gotta get these kids up and get them ready for school.